Player for both Android and iPhones. Here's the deal. While you're listening to us on Satchel, you can quickly and easily send us a few dollars to make our show even better. So if you're listening to us on Satchel right now, go ahead, click that donate button and send us some much appreciated donations. And if you're not listening to us on Satchel, I mean, come on, what are you doing? Download the podcast player right now at satchelplayer.com. Exclusive friends of the Squared Circle podcast. Welcome back to the Squared Circle podcast on Spreaker.com, iTunes, Player.fm, PodDirectory.com, Stitcher.com, TuneIn Radio, IWNerd.com, CastPlayer.fm, and the Satchel Player for your iPhone and Androids. All right, Max, I said it before the break, we are going to play the first ever edition of everybody's favorite game,
Hired and Fired!
Yeah, it's time for Hired and Fired. Thanks, everybody. Hi, my roommates and stuff wanted to be on the podcast. So, we're going to play Hired and Fired. We've each come up with a superstar to be hired in 2017 and fired in 2017. Max, what is your person to be hired in 2017?
Well, I had this pinned down to two people. And the one that I didn't go with was Pentagon Jr., actually. Wound up not going with him because while I did some research into him and I've come to understand that while he does know a pretty good amount of English, he's not... Shinsuke Nakamura has a better grasp of the language than he does, and that Shinsuke has kind of become my bare minimum. Okay. So, unfortunately, Pentagon is a no-go. Sad, but there it is. My hired is Marty the Moth Martinez.
Really?
Marty I'm still a huge fan of his, man. I love him, and all I'm gonna say is this: Marty Wyatt.
I need a minute.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Okay, I'm good.
Yep, there we go. That's what I thought.
Okay, my hired in 2017 is one of the more recent members of New Japan, Ring of Honor, and something else. My hired for 2017 is the Young Bucks.
Oh. Because WWE doesn't have enough super kicks. That's right, viewer. That's right, listeners at home. I'm one of those people.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I love a good super kick. I love them.
Hey, I'm not saying the Young Bucks are bad. I'm just saying I like more moves in my match than 4 and some super kicks.
That being said, my second pick would have been Adam Cole.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'd have gone with Adam Cole.
Out of curiosity, why didn't you? Out of curiosity,
I've been hearing. I'm sorry. What was the question?
Why didn't you go with Cole? Out of curiosity,
I think that they would. I think they would bring in the Young Bucks to SmackDown. I think the tag team division on SmackDown is a little lacking.
It's a little thin.
It's a little thin, and I think bringing in veterans like the Young Bucks could solidify that tag team and make SmackDown an overall amazing show. Now, that being said, the Young Bucks, like I said, they do have a pretty limited number of moves.
I would say limited. My issue with the Young Bucks isn't that they're limited wrestlers. I've seen matches where they can demonstrate that they've got like a Sami Zayn by way of American Alpha number of moves to work with. They just know how. They just tend to do a lot of the same stuff over and over again. That's the main reason they bug me. But I do think that with the specific pool of talent they have on SmackDown, and I think the way WWE does business, I think they would definitely mitigate that quite a bit. I'm not, obviously, they'd probably still be throwing a lot more super kicks than anyone else on the roster.
Right.
But God damn it, you made me like this.
All right, so I'll start with fired in 2017.
All right.
It's gonna kill me.
Oh boy. Oh.
Paige.
No way.
I think in 2017 WWE will release Paige.
Oh, you're not even like saying this like you want it. You think it's actually going to happen.
Oh, it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen. The signs are there. You know, the 2 straight suspensions, the release of her boyfriend Alberto Del Rio, all of the negative things that have been said to Paige from head brass at WWE. I think come 2017, it's all going to come crumbling down, and you'll see Paige go somewhere else. Maybe Shakara. Maybe. You won't. See, I wouldn't see her go to like TNA. Oh, I wouldn't see her go to TNA.
I don't know.
I wouldn't wish that on anyone, really.
In all fairness, in all due sense of fairness, I have checked out 2 episodes of Impact. Admittedly, it's only 2, but honestly, they ranged from kind of dull but watchable to surprisingly decent. I'm not going to go ahead and say that TNA is experiencing a fucking renaissance or anything, but they're not 2010 Hulk Hogan square ring TNA anymore. They've moved past aces and eights.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So I think in 2017, Paige is going to be fired. What do you think?
See, I went into this picking people, like we would think would be good for being hired or fired at. But this, yeah, you make a pretty damn good argument for it actually happening.
You think I was actually... You think I was going to be like, oh, well, maybe they'll release Kalisto. I don't like him. In all fairness, I do like Kalisto.
Well, in that case, I would like to change my fire.
Okay, that's fair.
In respect to what I thought we were going to be going with this, my original fire was JBL.
Oh, God, a man can dream.
I mean, it's honestly, when I say fire in that case, I would have clarified I would have gone on to mean he does not lose his Legends contract. He's still allowed to do stuff. He does appearances, all that fun stuff. Hell, maybe we get a little Rumble mini return. Like maybe he gets a couple of mid-carders out of the way before taking an elimination, that kind of thing.
Just take away the goddamn microphone.
Thank you. But in respect to that, then, damn it. I just had a thought, and I'm going to go with it. It's going to kill me. And it has everything to do with his apparently injury streak and the kind of nothing booking they gave him, but I could see my beloved Kenta, now known as Hideo Itami, getting the axe.
That's fair. Kenta kind of missed the NXT bandwagon. Hideo kind of missed it.
Yeah, and the injuries, the back-to-back, I mean, the way they were booking him was all right. And I will freely say this. Shinsuke Nakamura is probably one of the greatest wrestlers on Earth right now. But Kenta is always going to be he's in my top 3. I mean, he was one of the guys that 5-6 years ago I started really getting into wrestling again and getting into like Japanese wrestling and stuff.
Right.
But the way it looks, I mean, for crying out loud, until I just thought of all this, I actually wouldn't have probably initially thought of him because I think I kind of forgot he's in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fucking Kenta, a guy who 4 or 5 years ago, every smark knew the name of.
Right.
Now, and I get it, there's bigger acts, but and I know when that one comes, that one's gonna hurt for me personally. Like I said, if he's not my number one, that's always Foley. But if he's not my number two, he's definitely three. I mean, that one's gonna kill me if it happens.
Yeah, I agree. Don't get me wrong. I guess I came into the right before Hideo was injured because I remember, oh God, what was that network special? Beast in the East. He was supposed to be there, and all of a sudden he wasn't, and everything just went to hell. And since then, to be completely honest, I forgot about Hideo Itami. I really did. Because all I can think about in NXT is Shinsuke Nakamura.
Man. If I can make a secondary crazy prediction, this is less crazy. Okay. It's that Nakamura is going to Raw or SmackDown, and he needs to. I mean, I love him, and he's clearly still putting on, Matt classics. Mm-hmm. He very clearly doesn't give a crap right now.
Right.
He looks bored out of his mind, and it's like, I get it, but then it's also like, dude, come on. But at the same time, I won't lie, I kind of want to see Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles again, damn it.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I did watch their Wrestle Kingdom 10 match. Oh.
That final Bomaye knee straight to Styles' face.
Yeah.
Oh. He looked dead. Legit dead for a second.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think once we get closer to Royal Rumble, I do have an idea of how to make predictions for that, but I won't release that at this time, because, spoilers.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Fair point.
So just a couple of quick things before we take off for the night. We are going to be doing a live stream for the Royal Rumble. We haven't done one of those in a long time. But we are going to get back into live streaming for the Royal Rumble. Also, stay tuned next week. We do have an announcement regarding the Squared Circle Productions and a possible merger that's coming our way. We're in some talks with our buddies over at Smart Money, AJ and Chris. Can't release a lot of the details right now. Nate, the effing great, is actually working on most of those details right now. And he will be on the show next week to kind of announce what's going on, because it's really starting at the start of January towards Royal Rumble season. So we're gonna announce that probably next week. So before we take off, Max, any final thoughts headed into 2017?
2016, around the world, here at home, politically, personally, and in the world of wrestling, was, let's be gentle and say, pretty rough. I wish everyone around the world, I wish everyone in my house, I wish all my friends, including you, Spencer,
thank you,
and I wish WWE, no problem, and WWE and all of our listeners, I hope we all have a very, very good 2017.
Agreed, because 2017 was very, very bad. So that's going to do it for the Squared Circle podcast here on Spreaker.com, iTunes, Player.fm, PodDirectory.com, Stitcher.com, TuneIn Radio, IWNerd.com, CastBox.fm, and the Satchel Player for your iPhone and Android. Max, that's it for 2016. Thanks for being along with the ride. Thanks to Nate the Effing Great, all of our great sponsors, Chris and AJ over at Smart Money. Wisconsin Pro Wrestling has been great to us this year. Every person that we had on the show for 2016, thank you so much for being a part of this show and making it what it is today. So, on behalf of Nate the Effing Great, everybody here at Squared Circle Productions, the Squared Circle Podcast Heavyweight Champion Max Beattie, I'm Spencer Hart saying we'll see you in 2017. Later!
Woo!